All right. Welcome, everybody, to the Pathfinders for Autism Bourbon Cork Drop here at Tobacco Barn Distillery in beautiful St. Mary's. I am Tommy Luganville, representing Southern Maryland Loves You, a local nonprofit, joined by...
I'm Dominic Fragman with Sonic Spirits, and I am very excited to be here today for the Pathfinders Bourbon Cork Drop.
So we've done this before.
Yes.
We did a very similar event on St. Patrick's Day.
I was a little bit more Lou Ferrigno that day.
Were you dressed up like the Green Giant?
Well, I wasn't the Green Giant. I just was green for St. Patty's Day. I didn't have any green clothing, so I painted my body green.
Well, today's color is red for Maryland and Pathfinders for Autism. Basic rules of this event. If I screw these up, Dominic will correct me. The rules are people bought corks, actual corks. I don't know if I have one behind me. But
211.
211 corks were purchased for $25 a piece. Oh, okay. Mr. Surhoff threw me this. I'm glad I caught it. I did play baseball, so I feel like an idiot if I didn't. So if you bought a cork, there's a number, and you've been assigned a number to your name. And so Mr. Surhoff's going to go up in the helicopter, drop all the corks towards the target right next to a cornfield that we're sitting next to. And the person who's closest is going to win. And I believe first place is $1,000 cash.
And if you don't think that it's possible to drop a cork from a helicopter with any accuracy, last time we did this, Rachel Labatt, who's running for Miss Maryland at the end of the month, she made corks inside of the spittoon, which has an opening maybe this big. So, BJ.
so there's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of pressure here. But it should be fun. Once the event actually kicks off, it's pretty quick, but we'll be on here for the next 20, 30 minutes, allowing Mr. Surhoff time to get to the airport. He is going to join us today in about a minute from now. Background, Mr. Surhoff is a former Oriole first-round draft pick for Major League Baseball, went to University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill, 1999 All-Star, 1999 Home Run Derby. Also a great guy. More importantly, founder and president of the board for Pathfinders for Autism, and he's going to share with us why he did this and some of the things that they're doing. So if you can come on and join us, Mr. Surhoff.
Give me that cork back first.
Yes, that's a lucky cork, 167. Very nice to meet you.
Pleasure, man.
All right, here's the bag.
211 corks. Last time we had 116. So
I believe that's about a little over $5,000. That's great.
I'm not sure what we sold them for, but if you say so.
If I say so, all right.
$5,275.
All right, we got
Nice.
a math major. All right, like,
I got it written down.
All right. So for starters, I just wanted to ask, what inspired you to start this nonprofit and stay so involved over the years?
well, around 1997, 98, 99, my wife and a bunch of other families, parents, were meeting as a support group. We all had a connection to a woman named Dr. Landa, who is, I think, is director over at CARD at Kennedy Krieger. And we wanted to try and figure out how we could help other families that are going through what we were going through. So in 2000, the group, and there was at least 10, 12, 14 of us, started this organization with an all-working board. In our first job, our first thing that we wanted to do was an online database. So you get a diagnosis, you have a child, you call us, and then wherever you lived in the state. So we compiled all kinds of information. We keep doing it. Who in this area, where you need to go and be able to get you help for you, your child, or anybody in your family, and anything relating to autism. So that's the goal, is to try and help you, your individual child, your family deal with someone who's on the autism spectrum.
That was pretty early on too, to be doing a database like that over 20 years ago.
Well, we did have the internet then. It was
No, I was alive. I had the internet. But that's a you guys were early adopters, so that's awesome.
Well, it was one of the things that we thought we could do immediately.
Right.
You know, we went through a number of ideas, getting into research, which is millions and millions and millions and years, and it's stuff that would follow, but it wasn't going to affect and impact our families, our individuals immediately. So we wanted to, for example, when my wife and I got our diagnosis from from our neurologist. We didn't really know it now.
Mhm.
You know, it was 1994. The internet was getting started, I guess. And we really didn't have much information. And so she went to a whole bunch of resource seminars and into a convention or two just to find out something about what was going to go on in our lives. So we want to be able to help people that were going to be going through that, and we're going through it with us.
It's awesome. Now, can you tell us a little bit about, there's a giant bus outside. I know you guys were other places today. What is that all about?
Well, the bus is in good part from our friends of MediaStar, who is a huge MediaStar Promotions, a huge supporter of ours.
Right.
Karen and Brian Lazarus, and Karen's on our board. And so the idea is to take the bus around the state and help create awareness into the different corners of our state. Our goal is to try and reach every county, every area of, and hence while we're down here in Southern Maryland.
Right.
We want to get out in Western Maryland. We'll be in Western Maryland. We'll be over at the beach on the Eastern Shore. We have an event down there. So obviously we operate in Baltimore metropolitan area very, very well, but we want to extend our tentacles and raise awareness and let people know more about what we're doing, how we can help them, and what they can do to help us. So obviously there's many components to it: awareness, what we're doing, our trainings, what we're doing, and hopefully we can raise a little bit of money, because the more money we raise, the more we can help our families and our individuals.
So I saw, I think it's called the Dip Challenge.
Yes.
Is that anything to do with baseball?
There's
dip?
nothing to do with the baseball dip.
I thought there might be something.
I don't
to
know
it.
what the baseball dip is, but it's nothing to do with it.
I know what it is, but yes.
I'm afraid to ask. No, it started, if you've seen, there's these little credit card things you can dip your credit card in.
Okay.
And you can set a price, $5, $10, $25, $50,
Sure.
$100, whatever. And it's the simple way where you put your card in there, you make a contribution, and it plays a song for you.
Interesting.
So that is a dip jar.
Is it a different song for everyone? Or
No, I think it can be set that way, but usually it makes some sort of sound.
We got a musician right next to you,
so yeah,
you need to talk.
Yeah, we'll have to talk about tea.
Yeah.
So the dip jar is something we bring to our events, and it's just a way. We had an event at brewery
Okay.
a couple weeks ago, and people come in and they'd support us, and they dip their card real quick, and boom,
That's cool.
they made a contribution, is however little or however much they'd like to give us.
Sure. So one last question. I assume the answer is yes, but have you ever been in a helicopter?
I have.
Okay, so you're totally comfortable.
Yes.
All right, totally convincing on that one.
Might be a different helicopter I've been in, but yeah.
We've both flown with this pilot.
Yeah.
He's great.
No.
So everything's going to go
I'm
good.
okay with it.
All right, awesome.
I'm okay with it.
All right, so are there any other upcoming events, anything else? And then we're going to have to let you go get to the airport.
We do, and I think we can talk to that more because I'm not the best at the
All right,
itinerary.
we'll have other people.
They are on our website,
Okay.
Pathfinders.autism.org, and I'm sure you can find it on Facebook or
Okay.
Instagram or Twitter or whatever other platform that we may
Perfect.
put our stuff out on.
All right, well, we appreciate it. Thank you for
Okay,
participating.
Thanks,
Run up
Tom.
there. Good
All
luck.
right.
All right,
Much
thank you.
accuracy for the corks in the spittoon.
Yes, good luck to the participants. He's gonna head to the airport now, and hopefully one of you who's watching is the winner.
$1,000.
$1,000. I do believe there's a second place. I think it's $500.
$500 for
$500.
Yeah.
And there's a third
And there's
place.
a third place.
Oh, there's a third place. Third place for our host is a private tasting for 8 people. It's priceless because
We have room corroboration for that.
I've been on a tour with Scott before. It's actually very good. But okay, so we're gonna have a few more guests to kind of get us towards the actual flight. And so next up we have Barbara Zapato. Barbara is the executive director from
Visit St.
Mary's, Maryland. Come on and join us.
Which is the tourism department, or the tourism office in St. Mary's. Is that correct?
Yes, well, we're an independent nonprofit, but we
Right.
support tourism
Which
here in
is
St. Mary's
cool.
County.
I found that out maybe 2 years ago, that the tourism office was a separate and a nonprofit organization from the actual county.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm pretty new to the job, so I hope you guys don't have any hard
in-depth
questions.
Yeah, so this is actually the second time I met you. I met you here
Yes.
last time as well. So
Yeah, when
eat-
you met me, I hadn't started yet, and Scott
Oh,
lured
okay.
me here with a bourbon tasting.
I was gonna say you must really like bourbon, or I'm not sure. But so what? So you're new to the job, so I know you're just getting your bearings straight. But what are some of the things that you've gotten able to do in the last, I don't know, month or so?
Well, just
3 months.
past my 3-month mark, and getting here as everything starts to change with the, coming out of the pandemic, hopefully. I tried to just kind of stay out of the way because all of the businesses were reemerging and people were coming out, and there's a lot of great stuff going on in tourism. So as I've been getting my bearings here, one of the things we've done is we've brought tours, sunset and afternoon tours to Leonardtown Wharf. So you can now go down to the wharf in Leonardtown. If you haven't been there, go there. And you can get on a boat and see the beautiful St. Mary's County from the water and get all the way out to St. Clements Island.
Now I have to ask about this because I did see this. Did you have anything to do with? It was like a documentary at the old prison when they were doing ghost hunting.
Oh, I did not. I couldn't even get in there, but I know a lot about it.
Okay. Well, point being, there's a lot of things down here I think most people don't even realize.
That's exactly right. I keep saying to people I showed up just in time to take credit because there's amazing things here in St. Mary's County. Not, great things to do, but it's the stories that make this place distinct. Like you're talking about the ghost. Everywhere I go, someone's got a story about a ghost. Someone's got a story about their family from the 1600s, 1700s. It's just a really unique place. And, I come from Washington, D.C. There's a lot of stories there too. Really, really interesting stories here. Not to say anything else, but it's really wonderful. Yeah, it's really wonderful here, and the people, the community is so warm and inviting, and it's a really, truly integrated network of a community. Everyone helps each other here.
So, is there anything that you're allowed to talk about in terms of ideas or plans for end of the summer or fall? Is there anything you're working on that you want to share? Or did I put you on the spot with that question?
You did. You guys put me on the spot the minute you called me up here after following BJ Surhoff's not an easy one. No, we're really looking at, thank you.
Yeah,
We're really trying to figure out how we, when I got here, people were calling this Maryland's best kept secret. And I fully agree. And I've said that to a lot of people.
Right.
So I'm really trying to figure out what would, bring people here and have them enjoy it as it is, because that's the beauty of this place. We have 500 miles of shoreline. We've got farmers everywhere. I mean, it's just a really rural and interesting community. And the history alone, I mean, I'm just standing in the wings waiting to see what happens with the fort. About the discovery of the fort at historic St. Mary's
St. Mary's City, right?
Yeah, so they found the original fort from 1640. I mean, that's a boon for this, state, for the county, and for our nation to just know that.
Is that a little bit older, or is it younger than Jamestown? I mean, it's right around the same time.
About the same, but it's all on the, it's all out of the water. I believe Jamestown is partially underwater. So we have found the original post. And the other interesting thing about that location is because that area, and I hope the people at Historic St. Mary's City, I hope I get this right. I've had to learn a lot. So the location where that is had already been a place where Native people had lived for centuries. So they're not only finding this fort from 1640, they are finding, the imprints of other cultures from thousands of years. So it's really going to be a very unique site that will make it distinctly different from Jamestown. It's not a colonial story. This is really a human story of, thousands of years.
Well, I think we got time for one more question. Are you sure there's no upcoming events or anything that you want to share? Or how can people find out more? I mean,
well, I will tell you the thing I'm looking forward to the most, because like I said, I'm just learning it every single day, is our Oyster Fest. I'm sure you know about the Oyster Fest. Do you know about the Oyster Fest?
I've heard about the Oyster Fest, but I have not been to the Oyster
Fest. Okay, so this is the stunner about the Oyster Fest. The Oyster Fest is in October, second weekend in October, and it is put on, it's a fundraiser, it's put on by our Rotary Club.
Right.
But this is the National Oyster Festival. So people compete all over the country as oyster shuckers.
Yeah.
And they come here for the national competition. The person that wins here goes to the international shucking contest. So they represent our whole country. And that alone is fantastic. I mean, who doesn't want to stand around on a beautiful October day and watch somebody nearly cut their hand off opening oysters at speed, right? That's what we're looking forward to.
I'm surprised the international competition isn't down here, to be honest with you.
Yeah, well, you know, I think Ireland's got it for now, but you know, give me a couple
Okay.
years.
We had some friends from Ireland.
Give me a
last time.
couple years. I like that.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
All
where
right,
we're
so
going.
you heard it here. International Oyster Fest is coming to St. Mary's County. Putting you on the spot.
Uh-oh.
Well, we thank you for joining us. We
All right,
appreciate
thank
it.
you. It was great
Yes.
to be here.
Look forward to
Thank
the
you.
next one, yeah.
Okay, thanks.
All right, so we got about, looks like around 15 minutes, and
15 minutes till the cork
flight.
drop?
And I think our on-site. Where did our reporter go? I think she was just here. I saw Alex in here.
she might have been
If any-
summoned.
If anybody sees Alex or knows Alex, text her that she's the on-site reporter. She just showed up, so we got to get her set up. But until then, we're going to do a couple more interviews here. I'm going to snag Rachel. Rachel Labatt is a flight test engineer locally here in Maryland at Pax River. Rachel, why don't you go ahead and join us? Welcome.
Hi.
All
What's
right,
going on?
before we get going, you were on the helicopter dropping the corks last time.
I was. Yep.
So we need a little color commentary from you on what Mr. Surhoff can expect.
He can expect a lot of loud wind with barely hearing our communication over cell phone,
Great.
but just smile and wave.
Now, the question that a lot of people had last time was if we opened first of all, if we open the door, can you fall out?
Actually, the doors were already off of the helicopter
They were
when I
already
got
off.
on,
Dang.
and it was amazing. So
I didn't get that. The doors were
Really?
closed when I was in it.
So I'm strapped in. You're buckled in. You have your headset on. You can just kind of lean over, and there's maybe 3 inches at my feet until the air of the outside of the helicopter. Like, it is incredible. I feel like I should stick my head out like a dog in the window.
So, okay, the second question that people always asked was when you pour the corks out, what keeps them from,
Going straight up.
right? In your expert opinion, they all just kind of fall out, right?
Yeah, because when the helicopter is spinning and the downdraft is in a circular motion, the corks drop in the center of all of that. So there's no real pull. There's no real draft right in the center where I'm pouring it out of. And it just falls right down.
Okay, so that was a very
And
engineering answer.
But it's
What'd you
also
expect?
because we were lower in altitude. We were pretty low to the ground that year.
Yeah.
And when we were lower, the corks didn't have as far to expand as they fell. And so it depends on how high they'll be for this helicopter drop of how dispersed the corks will drop around.
You made it in. I couldn't believe it.
I
never
did
thought-
not know that.
I never. Yeah. You didn't even-
I'm up in the helicopter. I didn't know that
Sure,
one even
it's
made
true.
it.
Didn't one of your friends win the prize?
Yes, Dimitri.
Dimitri. I hear a helicopter coming. Before we go on to our next guest, I want you to tell everybody about Miss Maryland and how you're running for the competition in the next 2 weeks.
So I am an official state finalist for Miss Maryland USA. I will be competing in the interview session this weekend on Saturday. It is all virtual because of COVID. And then on the following Saturday, September 24th, I will be taking stage in an evening gown, a swimsuit, and a cocktail dress. The winner of Miss Maryland USA goes on to Miss USA, and the winner of that goes on to Miss Universe. So here's hoping for the best and that I can represent Southern Maryland in the best way possible.
So is this breaking the fourth wall?
Yeah.
So is this open to the public, the competition?
There is no live stream, and there are a limit of 500 seats
Okay.
because of COVID.
Where's it going to be?
But it is going to be in Bethesda at the Marriott Conference Center and Hotel and Conference Center.
Yep.
And if I move on to Miss USA, that will be televised.
Awesome. All right. Well, good luck. Thank you for coming today. Anything else you want people to know about, or just 2 weeks, just look for you to win Miss Maryland? Is that about it?
Well, I appreciate all of our support. I appreciate all my sponsors. Southern Maryland Loves You has been behind me since March 2020. I really appreciate the Optimist Club and everything that we do with the community. Our incredible location here at Tobacco Barn Distillery. Everyone in Southern Maryland, you guys make me so proud to represent you.
Thank you
I
very
just
much.
wanted to- before you go, I want to say though that Rachel Labatt is a human of the highest quality. We met Rachel at Techport when you were working on
The breast pump ventilator
breast pump ventilators.
that you guys so
transitioning from-
kindly took us in, and that was incredible.
That was amazing.
One crazy ride. Southern Maryland Loves You has been a fun time.
Yes.
We've known you a while. We always appreciate the support you give. And you know what? I think we're rooting for you as a person, but also because if you win Miss Maryland, that can only help us, right?
Oh yes, we are taking Southern Maryland all the way
That's
to
right.
Miss
It only helps
USA.
all of us. So
Yeah.
anyway, thank you very much for joining.
Thank you.
All right, so we got one more guest after Rachel, I believe, unless Mr. Paul, no? All right, so we have from 105.7, we have Mr. Rob Long, who, very nice to meet you, sir.
Nice to meet you.
Oh, you brought a prop.
Yeah, first drop. This is a dip job. First of all, good job having me up here after the future Miss Maryland. Appreciate that. I'm going for Mr. Pathfinder. I'm probably going to lose to Mason Surhoff. I'll run for it. Oh, yeah, this is a dip job. And we brought this up
Okay.
because we don't want it to be misconstrued. Like, you're in a tobacco farm and dip, what people think this is about.
That is what I thought.
No,
yeah.
this is a dip jar. And let me show you how this, this is set for $50. You just stick your credit card in here.
Oh, you're putting us on the spot. Did you just donate $50?
I don't know. Let's see if it goes through. It,
You rejected it.
Let's see.
there we go.
Man,
That would have been embarrassing. Decline.
That easy.
hold on.
Insufficient
Now
funds.
I have to do it.
That's right.
Here,
There
from
you
the
go. Gotta get it.
You're not an idiot. You knew exactly what you were doing. Let's see if this works.
Now you pull. There you go. Let's see if it goes around. Let's see. Hey, $50. You just made $100, just like that.
All right,
Look
so
at
so
coming over your shoulder.
oh
There you go.
yeah.
wait for the half-cock
Dang, look at this.
See, folks, this is what we call male pride. You know, no one wants to
It
be
is.
outdone
How
by
about
the
some
next man.
female pride?
Wow.
Yeah.
Miss Maryland.
They should put you on more often.
Look
All
at
right,
that.
$200. Okay,
Good work.
so tell us.
I don't work on commission either.
All right, so I know you're involved with the radio and calling the Orioles games, but tell us how you're involved with this nonprofit and what brought you to it.
I do whatever Rebecca Rienza and Keita Ramirez tell me to do. No,
Very good.
honestly, back in 2003, my son Robbie was diagnosed with autism, and I got in contact with BJ Surhoff because we had no answers. We tried to get him in Kennedy Krieger, and they told us we were on an 18-month waiting list. Possibly it could fall to 6 months.
Right.
And I was a desperate dad. Talked to BJ. BJ gave me a number, and shortly after that, we got into the card program at Pathfinders for Autism. BJ and I guess through my job, just every now and then, came in contact with one another, and finally, I became a little more active with Pathfinders for Autism. They asked me to do be a keynote speaker one day, and I got to meet the men and women of Pathfinders for Autism, and just fell in love with the organization.
Right.
They are truly a godsend. They changed the lives of a lot of people. To me, of all the things that they do, to be honest with you, by me being a former police officer, what they do for first responders, the education program, Shelly is a big part of heading that up. Just going to first responders and training them on how to communicate with people on the spectrum. Because one of the fears that I have having a son who is now 22 years old,
right,
is being out there and being misunderstood, having his behavior being misunderstood as a sign of aggression, whether passive aggression or anything like that, and being dealt with based on that. So having them go out and learn how to communicate with first responders, to me, all the things they do, and they do a lot of great things, that is, to me, one of the most important things that they do.
Yeah, and it's awesome too because someone like you who has a platform to speak to so many people, be able to get the word out. I mean, as far as I'd say, that's more or less probably one of your callings in life.
It's not more or less. It is. I mean, I moved back to Baltimore when my son was 2 years old. I
Right.
quit my job as a police officer. I didn't know why. I didn't have a job here. I stayed in my mom's basement for my wife and 2 kids for 3 months, and I had no idea why I was doing that.
Yeah.
And then I ended up in radio and television, like you said, with a microphone and a camera to speak about this. And I'm I believe in divine intervention.
Mhm.
I think that's why I was put in that position to do what I'm doing. Now, it wasn't just for personal gain, but it's to give back.
Yep.
And trust me, when they asked me to be on the board, I think they kind of danced around a little bit why they really wanted me on the board. And I guess I finished that sentence for them because I knew exactly what my role was on this board. I'm not great at organization, and I don't have a financial background or things like that. I talk.
Well, it's funny.
So what else do you want me to do other than talk?
Why do you think we're sitting here?
Exactly. I mean, you don't have to spell it out for me. You want me on the board to talk. I got it. That's fine. That's what I do best. They never tell me what to do. Tell me what to do.
Well, that's like my
That's pretty much like, well, not for us too.
My buddy got married over the weekend, and I was the best man. And I said, dude, I'm not any better than the other groomsmen. You just wanted me to give the speech.
There you go.
And he was like, well, that's true. So, you know what?
Life is about knowing your lane.
Yeah.
And when you know your lane, you stay in it and you're comfortable. I stay in my lane.
So, all right. So, are there any events that you know about? Because I asked Mr.
Nope.
Surhoff this. All right. Hey, he's an honest guy. He already told us he's just the mouthpiece.
All I know, we have one of the, what was it, Katie? What's the next one? When is the next one?
Well, we have an event this weekend, Peaches for Pathfinders.
That's right.
Peaches for
Sunday.
Pathfinders.
Yep,
Saturday.
Saturday, July 17th, Peaches for Pathfinders.
Yes.
Peaches for Pathfinders.
Yes.
Want me just to tell you the new say it?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's Peaches for Pathfinders this Saturday.
July 25th,
July
July
25th.
25th.
at Ironbirds.
Ironbirds, that's right. I did know about that one. Yeah. I'll be at both of them.
August
I just
24th.
Don't know. It's just too much.
August 24th, Dogfish Head.
August 24th,
Dogfish
Dogfish
Head.
Head, Ale House.
All right.
Gaithersburg.
Pete is-
That's in Maryland.
I know where Gaithersburg. I live in Rockville.
And
So.
Run Wild for Autism is coming up also in the fall.
All right. I said
There's a
September
nice
26th.
there's a nice bunch of charades going on out for campground.
Oh, this is great. So I have a pony named Peaches. So Peaches for Pathfinders. She'll have to post about it. She has her own Instagram account. Apparently something's happening on Assateague as well.
That's it.
October 3rd.
Yeah. And I'll be there.
All right. So he shows up when they tell him to. He talks when they tell him
And
to.
I put
You're gonna have the
card in the tip jar.
He got $200 donated on the spot.
Hey, you know,
Yeah, you did a good job.
that's my job.
All right. So any other things, Dominic, I'm forgetting? Because I think
I'm
the
just
shop was
excited to be
closed.
here with you guys. This is great.
This is great.
I'm just watching.
Yeah. All right. So thank you, sir. We really appreciate it. You're doing God's work.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll see you next time.
Okay, absolutely.
All right. So we're getting close to 3:00, and I now see Alex, who is our on-site reporter. I'm going to ask Alex to log in to StreamYard.
Hopefully there's nothing like we can't hear or we can't see.
It's all right, Alex. All you got to do is Alex is going to be outside with the camera. She'll make sure that people can see the helicopter coming. Alex, speaker works great. It doesn't work. It's all right. So she'll be the one to be standing with everybody as they measure how close the cork is going to get to the target. Maybe one falls in. It made life real easy last time. But other than that, we might have one more guest join us later. And wow, so we have and she's going to be quick. We have a stand-in. I'm going to shame Mr. BJ Hall for not showing up today.
He said he's on his way, but it doesn't matter. I'll do it right now.
All right, so real quick, BJ Hall is the local president for the NAACP St. Mary's County. He has a nonprofit, and he also has a day job. He graduated from West Point. He's super involved with helping veterans, also helping children.
Reach back and lift.
Reach back and lift. And the mother of his child is going to join us. Why don't you come on in real quick?
Hello.
And thank you for coming.
Good to see you.
First name?
Latasha Thomas Patterson. So I'm also a West Point grad.
Really?
Yep. So I'm a retired Army. So military as well. Cool. So go Army, beat Navy. That's a little inside joke. And as you said, our son is autistic. So he was diagnosed in 2007. So when he was 3 years old. And so we've been all around the country getting different services in different places. And now that BJ is settled in Maryland. William is here at Great Mills High School in the programs, and we're trying to navigate all of the, all the programs that are here locally. And as other parents have mentioned, that it's very difficult trying to figure out how to put it all together. How do you get all the resources together to get your child the best services so that they can have the best life? And so I'm very appreciative for Pathfinders for coming here. And the only thing that I want to say is that, we spoke to members of Pathfinders, and as they're saying, hey, they're trying to go out to the local areas to build up the communities there. Let's try to do what we can to volunteer to build Pathfinders here so that all the parents and the kids who are autistic and the adults as they transition are able to get as much as they can so they can have, the best life that they can, because the only thing that's limiting them is the resources that they have in the community.
So I was, we've got about 2 minutes. I'm just letting everybody know the helicopter's in the air, but I feel like you're a very important guest to talk to. Are there any, I know BJ is trying to work on maybe some policy changes. Could you share a little bit about that?
Yeah, so the main issue that we had was that right now parents are given two choices. Either your kid is mainstreamed and they're getting IEP services, or they're in SAIL, and that's more of life skills and transition, but there's no path for them to get a high school diploma, and that should not be the case. If we already know those kids are on a 7-year path, why don't they have a 7-year graduation path? And so that's what we're kind of proposing.
Is there any number? Is there a bill proposed, or is it still
Not
right now
yet.
just in the working
Yeah,
phase?
so right now we're in the fact-finding portion of it, where we're trying to get the real numbers and impact and how we can get that changed.
So I'm going to do something. I'm going to make you have to sit here with us as the helicopter's coming in. We're going to add Alex Walker to the stream. Alex, can you hear us? Give us a thumbs up if the answer is yes.
Hello.
All right.
Hopefully you can hear me.
We can hear you. So, all right. So while we're still waiting for the helicopter, what's the best thing we can do to help people like you and BJ, especially trying to get young folks with autism high school diplomas?
So there's a local group that is called CASE. So it's CACSE. That's the local special education advocacy group, and they meet once a month for peer-to-peer for parents, and as well for like an actual group that reports to the school board, so they can get involved there, where they're providing their feedback on what needs to be done. Groups like Pathfinder, or people who have a voice that can, tell the parents and the kids what it is that they want. So reach out to your local CACSE. That's what we have right now. And as we get more, we'll have it published.
So if I can get this in. So Dominic is a musician. I was curious, are there unique things like music that can help with these types of, autism, people with Asperger's, things like that? Is music and art, is that in any way correlated to helping these young people?
Yeah, there's all kinds of things that help. So music helps because, like we were talking about, pattern recognition. So that from a very young age, you can, a lot of kids with autism have. Art is another way for them to communicate if they're not as verbal. We have equestrian things that help. But the reality is that kids with autism or who are neurodivergent, they just think differently. They're not any less than. And so just like a neurotypical kid, where you would find out what their interests are and support them, that's what you need to do with your kids. I think as time has gone on, we've realized that this is not like, it's a disability, yes, but it's not like a death sentence.
Right.
And you don't have to treat them any differently. You just have to pay attention to how they learn.
So I will point you out the window. We are watching the helicopter approach now.
Nice.
Alex, if you can hear us, we are grateful. We'll ask you to turn your speaker on when the corks have dropped. Dominic, you've been in this helicopter. You've landed in this helicopter.
Ruby,
thank you for reminding me. Ruby, Ken Reed and his wife, Sadie, they were kind enough to allow us to use this today. South Hunt Aero is the company. Hopefully you can still hear us. We have the helicopter overhead right now. Alex, you're doing a great job. Thank you. Keep tracking the chopper for us. They're going to hover over a target. It's basically
A spittoon.
I believe it's a spittoon, isn't it? So traditionally, we do this out in the cornfield, but there is actual corn out there now, as you guys can see on the camera. So they actually put it to the side. It's actually right next to the original tobacco barn. They're adding a little bit of dramatic flavor. It looks like they're doing a flyover. Does it seem like that?
Yes, they're doing a flyover.
Okay, so I guess they needed to get their target set up, but they will be coming back. Yep, here they come. Coming in low. What would you say?
Yeah, they're coming in low, right over the target.
This reminds me of that
the
movie.
approach, as they call it.
The Approach. Oh yeah, you're in the Army, right?
Yeah.
Were you on
We're gonna let you
helicopters?
do this.
No, like I've been on multiple helicopters, but I did not fly helicopters. I'm a transportation. Well, was a transportation.
Up there, like right
so
over.
trucks are my
right now.
thing.
All right.
Trucks
So
here and there?
it looks like we're about, what did you say, 30 feet, maybe even lower.
Looks like,
Yeah.
oh man.
Oh, we're pretty low. So I think he should hit the target. Are they gonna
Hover? Or are they just gonna?
Are they gonna just let him throw him out?
Is he supposed to?
They're supposed to hover, right?
Yeah, when Rachel did it, they kind of hovered over.
What are we doing out here, Alex? Are we doing dramatic effects? Can you?
No, they just dropped.
Did we actually drop?
They
Okay, so the
just
corks are out?
And I'll point them. Yep.
All right, so
Okay, they're approaching again.
so we got the chopper coming again. Are they just doing this for fun, or are they? All right. Well, we got a chopper flying. Maybe they're just trying to show off a little bit. I'm not sure.
Okay.
As you can see, the bus in the
I
background,
think that
Pathfinder for
was the
Autism.
final drop.
Are we doing? So are we doing measurements
That was
now?
the final drop. Now we're good. Can you guys hear me?
I think they're gonna wait for the helicopter.
Yeah, we can hear you. Yep. So did they drop 3 times? Is that what we were seeing there, or was it just once? Twice. Okay, 2 drops.
Here's,
All right. Does it look promising? Did any of them get close to the target?
Yes.
Oh,
Very
here's the
close.
measurements.
Oh.
Exciting.
nothing.
For those watching, right now we're going to say the number on the cork. We will then let folks know. I have a Google sheet whose name it correlates with, and we will be letting folks know within 24 hours. Okay, just for those watching, that's how that's going to work. So here we go.
Okay. So what I'm hearing is we're gonna tell everybody the closest numbers, and then Pathfinders for Autism is going to tell everyone what number they were matched to. Is that correct, Alex?
That is correct.
All right. So when you guys get those counted out, do me a favor. Do me. What was that?
153 was the first one.
153.
153.
That's what it sounded like.
That was my.
We're all just doing it.
Number 153. All right, Rob, now we do have to measure. Because these two, I got one here, and here. Okay.
Do we have a second place?
We're looking right now and measuring.
Wonderful.
3 feet. They all fell within about 3 feet.
So it looks like most of these
They were close.
fell very
They
close
are
to each
very
other.
close.
Oh my God, they're so close.
So this is somewhat of a photo finish, I'm presuming. So some feedback from the background is that there's about 10 corks that are within a couple inches of the
65
target.
is second place.
What is it?
65 is second place.
65 is second place. So we had
And
126
is third place.
126 for third place. So
All right.
yeah.
So we have 153 in first. We have 65 in second. And was that one? Did I write that?
Alex, what was the third place number?
Oh, hold on.
That one we didn't even measure.
I think it was 163. Everybody's talking.
Alex took her shades off, so she means business now.
I do.
All right, so the corks are coming inside. Why don't we just each hold one of them?
Sure, we'll
Nice.
confirm it.
We'll go first, second, and third.
Oh, awesome.
You got the corks, Scott?
Got the corks. Just have to write it down here.
All right, so Mr. Sanders, retired Admiral Sanders, who is our gracious host here at Tobacco Barn Distillery, is writing down the first, second, and third, and then I believe he will be giving us the corks to show everybody. So there's proof. We want to thank everyone who participated today. Ruby, Sonic Spirits, Southern Maryland Loves You, Pathfinders for Autism.
NAACP.
NAACP, Gridiron Cards. I forgot you, Dominic. Why don't you go ahead and our sponsor, Gridiron Cards. We got a Fortnite cards right here. I know this is ridiculous, but they are a sponsor. What's up, Wade? Go Peely. So as we're counting these up, it is my understanding that we're going to try to do a few more of these for other charities in the future.
First, second,
Got it.
third.
All right. So I have the first place cork, number 153.
I have the second place, which is 165.
Is it 165?
Yeah,
Oh,
165.
mine is third place, 126.
53.
165.
126. Oh!
So,
Literally perfect.
oh, we're back. We're back.
Oh.
All right. Okay, so first was 153.
Second place is 165.
Third is 126.
I have great news. First place is BJ's wife.
Oh!
No,
that's just
Okay. All right. So we.
So
Okay.
that is good.
Wait,
That is
wait,
good.
wait, 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 wait.
That is great.
That is excellent
I promise
aim.
it wasn't fixed.
All right.
She did buy, in her defense, she did buy 12 forks. So I mean, she has
All right. Mrs. Surhoff, Mrs. BJ Surhoff is the first place winner. We did not fix this.
So she bought 12 forks.
I
She-
imagine she's planning on donating.
Whoa. She can do what she wants, but I bet you're right. I bet you're right.
Okay.
And Mr. Long will make her do it if she doesn't.
Second place, what was the number for second place?
165.
165 is Catherine LaRue.
Catherine
I
LaRue.
don't know Catherine LaRue. She has a Pennsylvania number.
Pennsylvania. Catherine LaRue from Pennsylvania.
Catherine LaRue.
$500. Third place, the 8-person Tobacco Barn Distillery Tour.
This is the best one.
Hope guys, you're giving the tour?
I'm giving it a tour. It's a tasting. I think we're doing
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so 8-person tasting. Yeah, Friday tasting.
And what is that number?
Dominic?
126.
I don't know this person either. Ellen Jean Hayden. Let's hope Ellen
All right.
Jean Hayden likes bourbon.
Yeah.
Ellen Jean Hayden.
Ellen Jean Hayden.
Okay.
All right, so you guys heard it. And Mrs. Surhoff,
And-
congratulations.
If you wait, Ellen, until after something, you will be able to get the 700-mile-an-hour bourbon. Maybe.
Last comment for the show, besides thanking everybody. August 28th, 2021 is the 700-mile-an-hour bourbon. Tobacco Barn. Scott, this.
Yeah, we're going to set 3 aviation bourbon world records that winning. We're going to have the highest altitude for aging bourbon in a barrel, 15,000 feet. Highest airspeed for aging bourbon airborne at 700 miles an hour. And the greatest natural pressure difference. What we're going to have there at altitude.
Okay. Okay, so will donate. She is. That is his wife. All right. So real quick before we wrap this up, because now that we have all these people in here, the broadband's going down a little bit. Mrs. Surhoff will be donating $1,000 to us. This is a great event. Thank you, Scott. Thank you to Tobacco Barn Distillery and Pathfinders for Autism.
But if Polly ever wants to come down here for that awesome donation and have a personal bourbon tour, she is more than welcome.
There you go.
There you go.
It pays to give.
You get a free tour Mrs. Surhoff. And that's it. So thank you all. Thanks, Dominic.
Thank you, Tommy.
And we'll see you all next time.
Bye.
Okay, we do need some photos.